used to be here alone all the time, so I wouldn't turn the heat up because for one person it was stupid. So I would rather just put some eggs on and a fleece and sit in front of the fireplace and turn the heat up. I was just have it. But did you see the vodka?
No.
Look, it's so pretty. I want to drink it. It's gorgeous. Immediately, I feel soothed. Where'd you get the name for this? Well, it was just a link or something.
I have a link, yeah.
It's gorgeous. I don't want to drink it. It's not the prettiest thing you've ever seen. Isn't that gorgeous?
It's a nice bottle, huh?
Coach, it's dreary and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but we've got football to perk up our spirits. That's the good news. At Paul Brown Stadium, that's where we're at here in Cincinnati.
I was like, I don't
A
care.
few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Cincinnati Bengals.
I know, crazy. Isn't that gorgeous? So I would like to say thank you for finding that. Because that's a beautiful gift, right? Let's say somebody erases over their house. Let's say we were going down to see Uncle Robert. That would have been nice. Or he was here. Just something to open up real nice for him to be here.
Right.
Maybe that's what we do. But, you see what I'm saying?
Bravo!
That's gorgeous. Is that not gorgeous?
On first down, Herbert.
So, with the boxes right
And
here.
down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
31, $30 a bottle. That's not great news.
Yeah, they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw. Herbert. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. 23 yards the pickup there. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Switch. You draw Parker. Go. Get it.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll get this out wide to Boyd. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 37-yard line. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. From the gun, Herbert. That's complete to John Ross. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. This one from 46 yards out. And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown. The 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
First carry for Josh Jacobs. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Luck. Caught here by Conley. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Check out! Call. 58, right over there.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. He's got a man. It's Williams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Check it back.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Luck. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Luck. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
On the set. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
Nixon will try the right side. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. Around the NFL, an update from a game going on down in Tampa. And the Eagles out in front early. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They had a great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
High 7.
Operating from the gun, Herbert, and that is incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
No move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5.
Hey, box drop. I got you, boy. 50. Hit it.
On 4th down, Herbert. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. They'll run on 1st down. It's Jacobs. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st. Out of the gun, block. And able to find Conley. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
61, match box right.
Running the toss here to Jacobs. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
He's coming. We got double up.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Love. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Get this one to about the 20-yard line. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that 1st. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive perspective.
Under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Raiders on third down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be third and forever. From the gun, here's Locke. Able to find Waller. That's complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And smart, valedictorian of his high school class in Houston. Then he goes to Stanford. He's got it all. Here's Jacobs. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders have taken the lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded at the goal line. He'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Max Crosby able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang at Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Check. 53 flight. Hey, stand up. You're not ready. You're not ready. Check 37. Check 37.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert going up top and unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? He said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Now a carry for Jacobs. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Luck looks to throw on 3rd and 1.
Oh, my goodness.
And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is this horoscope ball? Is biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check. Cross.
Looking to throw. Herbert. Flushed out right. And an alley to run. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
60 outlaw. Hey, Delta. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback. Go. Presto. Go.
2nd and 1. Forced out to his left. He completes it to Boyd. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
Go. Hey, exit. 15 line. 15 line. Check. 53's mine. Check. 53's mine. I know he ain't got it. Let's go. Snap.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Clelin Ferrell, he's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Made his first. This now from 42 yards out. Sanders' kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a 1-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
58, 58.
Luck now to throw.
Oh.
And a big one is here as he's taken down. Sam Hubbard making his presence felt in the backfield.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Here's Locke. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. That one good for 21 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Go! 50! You're trapped! Let's go, Mike 50! Mike 50! Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Mike 50! Shoot!
To throw on 2nd down. Herbert. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Herbert. And he's taken the ground. He's pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
Bandit. He's checking. Crash. Check 24. Check 3. Check 4. Kill.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Carl Joseph. Past the 20. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw. A free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Throwing after the interception. Herbert. Open man is Uzomah. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Bengal 1st down on the 16-yard pickup there.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 34. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
For the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Love. He'll be intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
36-yard line. 53 to Mike. 53. Check 53. I don't even know why this team showed up.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herbert, he finds his running back, Mixon. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Herbert, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jonathan Abram picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd and 9, Luck. This complete to Jones. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's Luke. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Bengals drive about to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Jonathan Abram able to make the play defensively. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
Safety's creeping.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Back now in Cincinnati. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
You know, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Slant. Patch it.
Now it's Locke. It's Williams on the catch. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. From the 25 on 2nd down, Luck. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Watch the curve.
64, weak.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Here we go, G, get off the field. 12. Watch out.
From the red zone now, Locke. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 9-yard line.
Ready to break.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
To throw on 2nd down. Herbert. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Now Williams. Well, that second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
This fielded at the 2. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. 2nd and 9 now. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. John Ross, 79 yards, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. They get one more as the extra point's up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Going to go deep for Conley. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Chris Conley, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking...
And the Raiders have got him. Maurice Hurst in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks. And the speed and quickness that defensive line is eating them alive.
Back to throw. Herbert. He's going to let it fly. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Trying to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Herbert escaping the pressure right. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Darius Slay with a pick.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Let's go, P, let's go.
Again, it's Williams. And an alley to run. There he goes inside the 30. And he's hauled away down to the 6-yard line. And they will finally get to him down at the Bengals' 6-yard line. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for Oakland, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to New England to take on the Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, the downward spiral continues as they drop to 0-6 now. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
There you eat. Shanair. What? Day off? I got sucks, man. You guys can't talk to each other.